Alrighty, welcome back everybody to another episode of Inspired by Jimmy L. As you guys know, I fell flat on my face and inside of my positivity journey, and I'm working now to rebuild that journey and what it looks like and what my future will look like. And so I've been doing that by going back to my roots and going back to inspirational videos and motivational clips and kind of getting my natural reaction to them in regards to where I am now in this state of mind, in this state of being. You guys know that I lost my dad New Year's Eve, and I'm definitely working on my language because I know for a fact that I fell on my face. That happened. I also know that grieving a parent is it's a continuing process, and so I'm making sure that I'm not still playing the victim. I'm not still holding his death as a crutch because I don't feel bad about him leaving this earth. I knew it was the best thing for him. Like I know that in my heart of hearts. Like I know that, right? But if I'm being completely honest, I also know that going through all the emotions that came out of me, um, which was healthy for me at that time, has now left me in a place of uncertainty, and I don't like that. It's causing me to react. It's causing me to respond to things that I ordinarily wouldn't do. And so I am finding that motivational clips and inspirational speakers are kind of helping me get my footing back. And so this particular clip that we're going to listen to today and my reaction to it is another one from Abraham Hicks. And it hit me while I was at work, getting frustrated with a few emails. And so I heard it and it struck me. So this particular clip is called Dealing with Anger and Resentment, Abraham Hicks. Listen to this really quickly. In knowing what you want. So the question is, did this venting, was it more about what you do want or was it more about what you don't want? And if it was more about what you do want, hey, I want respect. I want things to go well for me. I want us to have a good communication. I want us to be loving of one another. I want us to feel good. Well, it sounds like you're venting about what you don't want. You may very well be venting about what you do want. And you have to know by the way you feel. In other words, what was this manifestation about? Was this the opportunity? Maybe this is something you've been thinking about for a while, and maybe this person is in a receptive mode, and maybe that's why the inspiration came right here, right now to have this conversation. In other words, you have to trust the way you feel. If it felt better, it was better. If you feel relief, then it was better. Now, having said all of that, and we know you heard it in the spirit in which it was given, but it is also possible that in that venting, you're just justifying where you stand more. You're just digging in and justifying more. And so if you feel that that's what's going on, and you can tell whether you're feeling relief or whether you're getting more aggravated and animated and agitated, as you get more and more specific, stop and say to yourself, we don't mean stop, we mean focus and say to yourself, I think this is a good time for me to go general because in my specifics, I'm aggravating a resistant vibration. And more important, I'm practicing a resistant vibration. And more important, I'm becoming a more resistant vibration that's depriving me of what I really want. And that's really the main issue here. I'm using this as my excuse to not allow myself the emotional manifestation of being who I am. You see, let's just say this. This is so important. Listen. When you feel negative emotion, that's a manifestation that's indicating your deprivation of the thing that matters to you most, which is your alignment and your allowing of the source to be present here and now. In other words, did you hear that? You did hear that because we've been moving in the direction of that all morning here. When you feel, if you're powerful now, where your manifested emotion is happening, if it's a negative emotion, isn't that a wonderful awareness? Aren't you glad that you are aware of this manifestation? This manifestation is letting me start again. I thought I was mad at that person who evoked this venting from me and reminded me of this resentment that I've been carrying around for a while. But what's really happening here is this is a manifested moment in time where I'm doing that thing I do where I deprive myself of my own inner being. That's all it is. I'm not letting the fullness of who I am be here, and that's why I want to shout about it. And it's
Like, okay, so I love this. I encourage you to listen to that entire clip. It's about 10 minutes long. But I was in a situation or reading a couple of emails, and I getting frustrated and angry, and I was getting more and more upset and frustrated and angry at the person. And then I started getting more frustrated at my emails. Then I started getting more frustrated with myself because I'm like, I know better. I know better. And so I began to vent to a couple of colleagues and coworkers, I should say, and it felt good. The negative energy was being released from me, and it felt good in that moment. And then I felt bad for venting because I felt like I knew better. And so then I heard this clip and I was like, okay, I get it. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition. And because sometimes when you're so angry and frustrated that you want to scream, sometimes it's best to scream. Sometimes it is best to vent. Sometimes it is best to get that frustration out so that you can move on to a higher level of being grateful or being thankful and being able to see the situation from a different perspective. But what I love that Abraham or Esther Hicks says consistently, you can't get there from there. And so if you're so far down on the negative meter, you can't immediately jump to positivity. It just doesn't work that way. You have to gradually get there. And sometimes that gradually getting there means you have to vent. It means you have to scream. And I love that she also ended this by saying that you're having this negative emotion. You're having it because your intuition, your inner being is telling you they don't feel the same way. You're a little not disconnected, but you're, in her words, pinching yourself off from receiving what your intuition is trying to tell you to do. Your intuition is not, or your inner being is not feeling the same way about that thing or about that person that you're feeling in that moment. And because there is a disconnect between you and your intuition, or between you and your inner being, it expresses itself in the way of negativity. And so I'm learning it. I trust it. My intuition has always been here to guide me, and it has never led me astray. I have to learn. I have to remember to listen. That's it. I love you guys. I hope you all picked up on the message as well. And namaste. I'll see you on the next one.